Hi, everybody. Welcome to round 12 of Grand Prix Chicago. I'm Brian David Marshall. I am here with none other than Pro Tour champion Jacob Van Lunen, and we are watching Pro Tour champion Luis Scott Vargas at 10-1, playing Spirit Jund, playing against relatively unknown Michael Simon, the lone undefeated player in this modern Grand Prix after 11 rounds of play, playing Splinter Twin.
And Michael Simon's got to be pretty excited here. I'm sure he knows by this point in time that Channel Fireball is on Jund. And Jund is a pretty good matchup for Michael Simon. It looks like he's mulliganing down to 5 now. So you are pretty bad against Jund when you mulligan to 5, no matter what you are.
The lingering souls don't make much of a difference here in this matchup. They don't really add anything to the interactivity.
No. I mean, the combo that Michael Simon is armed with, he is producing infinite creatures. So it doesn't matter if you have 10 blockers or 2 blockers. You're taking thousands of damage.
It was arbitrarily large numbers of creatures.
Yes. Infinite is it's a bit of hyperbole, but the numbers.
At some point, your arm gets tired.
Yeah.
Or so they say.
Or they run out of tokens in the room.
Yeah.
You know?
Or Magic Online can no longer create objects.
Yes.
Michael Simon has to face Luis Scott Vargas on 5 cards.
Luis leading things off with a Deathrite Shaman, dropping himself down to 18 here. Godless Shrine untapped.
He's playing a deck that's a 2-card combo. He's got, 8 cards that help him dig through his deck.
I mean, Luis certainly has discard spells in his deck, but if Michael Simon just top decks the right cards at the right times, there's a very good chance that he just steals this game away, despite the mulligan 5.
Yeah, we do see a Thoughtseize in Luis's hand, and I think that's what's going to happen right now. We'll get a look at the hand that Michael has to work with. We see the main deck Spellskite. We see the Splinter Twin. The Splinter Twin. See, is that a Watery Grave, a Sleight of Hand, and a Mountain?
It's a very reasonable hand from Michael here. Luis, depending on the contents of his hand, he's either going to want to take the Spellskite or the Splinter Twin.
He's just taking that Splinter Twin. Why leave any room for shenanigans? Your opponent's already down cards.
And now he needs to draw both halves.
Yeah.
To do anything. Ooh, and a Confidant for Luis on turn 2.
Yeah, interestingly, Michael's deck can deal with creatures. He does play Grim Lavamancer, but as we saw, it's not there in hand.
Looks like he drew another Spellskite. When Luis can start churning out card advantage now at Dark Confidant. Reveals a Marsh Flats, takes no damage. Now he draws a Lightning Bolt.
So, it's interesting. Luis Scott Vargas did not have a great Pro Tour return to Ravnica. Was able, did well enough that he could have gotten to day 2. But, Paul Cheon's wedding was on Sunday. And so on Saturday. So instead of playing on day 2, he chose to, go to his best friend's wedding.
And I mean, that's a very reasonable decision.
Knowing that he might not, if he was in a good position, he might have continued to play. But it's kind of brutal to have a poor Pro Tour at the start of the season with pro points, but he's 10-1 here. He was top 8 in Philadelphia just the week after the Pro Tour. Pretty impressive to watch him sort of play catch up here.
And Luis is somebody who can do that over and over again. He's a tight enough player. He's not only is he somebody who's usually playing the best deck, but he's actually usually the first person to play that best deck.
Yeah.
Or one of the first
Oh, sure.
people.
He's been at the cutting edge of deck design in multiple formats.
For a very long time now.
Yeah.
Marsh Flats for Luis. presumably going to grab him a red source so that he can bolt the Spellskite. Oh, instead chooses to discard Marsh Flats to Liliana. Removes that to create red mana with Deathrite Shaman. Plays a Raging Ravine. Lingering Souls gets revealed for Luis here, dropping him, I believe, down to 12. The Liliana going to get sacrificed to deal this Grimlavamancer. Luis comes in for 3 damage, dropping Michael down to 12 also. And Lingering Souls gets cast and flashed back. 4 points of power in the air. Michael's got 2 turns to make something happen. He's going to go ahead and Cyclonic Rift that Dark Confidant.
It's not, actually.
And I don't think there's really any way Mike can win now with only 3 lands in play. Even if you were able to hit a Deceive Rexarch or a Pestermite into a Splinter Chin, you still wouldn't have the land to cast it in the next turn, so.
I don't know if he hits Deceiver Exarch.
Yeah, is Deceiver Exarch big enough to block here? Doesn't the Deathrite Shaman do it though? Because he has Raging Ravine also.
Sure. He has to activate the Raging Ravine though. I mean, he's going to use the Deathrite Shaman for that, which is what he's going to do, it looks like.
Yeah, and I mean, Raging Ravine accounts for so much damage here. Luis has to know that, you know, there's not any spot removal in Michael Simon's deck, especially in game 1. Luis dropping himself to 9 here, gonna activate that Raging Ravine.
Now he can't. Yeah, I don't think. No, he can't win from here. Not that I can see.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Luis attacks with the Deathrite Shaman also, but
well,
he doesn't even need
right?
to.
He can just activate it. Yeah.
And that's it.
There you get a look at the other feature match under the camera. We see Josh Arthur-Layton again, Spirit John playing against David Glacier.
And Luis and Josh sitting next to each other, piloting the exact same deck.
There you see in the back.
Both of them at 10-1 now.
Hey, what's going on over here? Whoa, what is, this is,
whoa.
I am a very happy person.
Hey, David Gleicher.
It actually is Glacier.
Glacier?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He is a very slow player. Every 2 cards he draws, he puts 1 back.
But he searches the library for lands all the time? Is that how this works?
Discard another card.
This will go to 5.
So he's assembled the Tron and followed it up with Karn. You know, liberated. Recently divorced Karn.
Recently divorced Karn.
Hitting the town, wrecking things, getting into trouble.
He had like a prenup. He's like so excited.
Karn
So that worked out.
Karn's just checking in on old girlfriends. Like, yo, what's up?
Did you know the time this started?
Hey, we haven't seen each other in a while.
Did you know the time this match started?
All right, so Karn going to go to 1. tower comes out. Oblivion Ring.
Yep. He's like, you're on 2 lands. I've got Infi mana.
Yeah, I've
You've
got
got
8
no
mana.
cards in hand.
You have no cards in hand and 2 lands.
Yeah.
And he has a Karn in his hand.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 separate piles of cards exiled by Karn.
Yeah, man, I like the Tron deck.
Yeah,
it casts Karn on turn 3 a lot of the time.
This is my new favorite deck.
Expedition map and crack it. What are you gonna get? Ooh, what land could
Probably
it be?
going to get Eye of Ugin, right?
Seems like a good choice. Now he can go grab himself whatever type of Eldrazi monster or colorless beast he wants to just completely destroy his opponent. Oh, it looks like he can just chain some Wormcoil engines.
Eye of Ugin lets you search for colorless.
Colorless creature. For a casting cost of... Is it... I think it's just a colorless creature. Yep, he searches his library for Wormcoil engine.
Yep. Yeah, just search for 7 tap, search your library for a colorless creature card.
And Wormcoil engines are an excellent way to beat Jund, by the way. It's extremely difficult to lose when you're Wormcoiling against Jund.
Also against not Jund.
I mean, against any sort of like creature-based deck, but Jund especially, because Jund is a deck that's trying to like 1-for-1 you with removal and grind out advantage with things like Bloodbraid Elf.
So we're
You
just
can't
gonna
do that against
We're gonna
Wormcoil.
chalk that game up as a victory
For David
for
Glacier.
David Glacier. And we're back here, Michael Simon, down 1-0 against Pro Tour Berlin champion Luis Scott Vargas.
Happy winning.
A turn 1 Inquisition for Michael. Reveals an Inquisition, a Grim Lavamancer, and a Dark Confidant from Luis.
Get that Dark Confidant.
And it all depends on Michael Simon's hand here. I mean, if he has a hand with multiple Pestermites, he might have to take that Lavamancer. Unlikely though. Probably taking Confidant, but if he has a fragile hand, he's taking Inquisition. Okay, so this is the aggressive play. I like that.
So just by the way, Karn and his wingman David Glacier managed to take down that little party over there.
Oh, really? He won that?
Yeah, he won that.
That one where he was drawing multiple, where he was able to search library for Wormcoil engines every turn?
Sorry, we're parched and placing silent soda orders.
Silent soda orders. Whispering sweet nothings into Rashad's ears.
Artificially sweetened nothings.
Yes. I don't have nearly enough corn syrup in my system right now. Not functioning properly. Misty Rainforest here for Michael Simon. Just gonna pass the turnover. So he has the Sea Rexarch and.
It looks like he has all the pieces he wants.
Luis dropping down to 17 here. Sticking that Confidant. And deciding whether or not he wants to use a Deathrite Shaman in order to cast the Grim Lavamancer. He does. Michael Simon going to go ahead and crack this Misty Rainforest, grab himself a Steam Vent. And I think Michael Simon may just win this game on the 4th turn. Doesn't look like Luis has any spot removal right now. He needs to find a spot removal card and or Thoughtseize in his top 2 cards. Luis does. Or this game is over. It needs to be a Thoughtseize specifically.
Wow, that is a big soda. Take that, Michael Bloomberg.
Michael Bloomberg would not be happy about this.
So Luis Scott Vargas is just assembling a little utility belt army here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's...
There's the Blood Moon.
Oh, interesting choice. I thought he would have just gone for it. The victory. Simon now down to 13 here. Luis Scott Vargas plays a mountain that comes into play tapped.
Yeah.
Plays a Vivid Crag that has no counters on it. Miss trigger.
Does he not have the creature here?
I think he does. I think he has to see Rexark and Splinter Twin in hand. Is that Blood Moon even that good here? It's like a... Ooh! See, now Luis probably wins. Luis is your Rakdos Charm, and one of the modes on Rakdos Charm is deal 1 damage to each player equal to the number of creatures they have on the battlefield.
Each creature they control deals a damage to them, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Would have been a little more exciting had
it not been revealed to the Confidant, so that we could have seen Michael Simon lose to the Rakdos Charm. So let's see what happens here.
The thing to keep in mind, though, is Rakdos Charm is black-red, so if Luis does not play a second black source here...
Well, he has the Deathrite Shaman.
But the Deathrite Shaman requires... Oh, it just it just taps to make the... Taps the black source.
Yeah.
So now Deathrite Shaman can... Is he going to go looking for... Sleight of hand, look for Spell Pierce.
I think Luis may have... Michael Simon needs to play around Rakdos Charm at this point, which seems like it's a tall order. He's at 9. Facing down some serious business on the other end of the table.
That doesn't even...
Another sleight of hand, still searching for some sort of answer to this Rakdos Charm. And I mean, Michael Simon chose to stick the Blood Moon early, and Luis able to.
You think you think he had a window to just more aggressively go for it?
Yeah.
And there's a Thoughtseize.
Luis taking a little bit of damage. Let's see, is Luis going to Thoughtseize? He is. 2 Splinter Twins. So now Luis knows that he needs to keep up in red-black at all times. And there's a Bloodbraid Elf. Offers the trade, Bloodbraid Elf. with the Seaver Exarch.
So if we get a spell pierce here,
Yeah, I don't know if those are still in his deck, but a spell pierce off the top would do it.
Or a dispel.
Or dispel. Even just anything that he has a land in his hand too. So even a Cyclonic Rift for Deathrite Shaman would be good enough. That's how close this is.
Although, oh wait, is he just dead here? Can he just Grim
He goes
Lava
to
Mancer him and
4.
Deathrite? No, he doesn't have enough mana to do both.
So
Is one of these a dispel? I'm gonna guess not by the.
yeah, he needs a dispel. Or spell pierce.
Right, Cyclonic Rift no longer an option because he won't have enough mana to do everything.
Looks like it's another Deceiver Exarch. Which isn't quite going to be good enough. Yeah. And
More than 4 copies, sir. Yeah, we'll make 1,000. Yep. Rakdos turn.
Luis shows him the Rakdos Charm.
yeah, Rakdos Charm. That's it.
11-1. Luis Scott Vargas, 11-1. Michael Simon. There are no undefeated players left in this tournament.
Super well played by Luis again. Every time we watch him,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
playing like a master.
you know, here's the
He
thing.
is
On
just he's banned in fantasy pools for
Yeah.
Magic, by the way.
So you're playing through the first 11 rounds of the tournament, or 10 rounds, 11 rounds of the tournament. You know what? You play against young players. Maybe they make a mistake. Maybe they slip up. Maybe there's a window where you get to do something. Maybe they don't have exactly the right card. Luis is never going to give you that window.
Yeah, he's not going to give you the opportunities that another player might give you. You can play against somebody who is an established pro player, has been on the Pro Tour for years, and it's not the same experience as playing against somebody like Luis Scott Vargas. He is just, he's God tier in the Magic community right now.
We have an incomplete Urza set there, right?
Yeah, and we see a Sylvan Scrying. So
No green
all
mana,
David
though.
Glacier needs is a red source here.
I might have.
So Joshua Layton gonna use that Thoughtseize to get rid of Sylvan Scrying. Leaves David Glacier with what looks like Rockle, Ancient Stirrings, and another artifact. And Joshua Layton takes a Wormcoil Engine out of David Glacier's hand instead of taking any of the other options there. That just goes to show you just how strong that card is in this matchup.
By the way, a couple people pointed out that Michael Simon in the last match needed the Blood Moon to get to double red.
I thought he had a Misty Rainforest in his hands. Maybe not though. Oh, he needed the Blood Moon to get. Okay, that makes sense. I can buy that. Yeah, so David Glacier up a game here. Doesn't look too good for him, and they're off to game 3. Ooh, and that Forest winning at the top for David Glacier. He needed that one.
You know, that's always the sort of the downside of those decks. If you having enough colored mana to get your cards that let you search for your lands, you know, having your, you know, sometimes you have the 3 different lands in your opening hand and you're like, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when that happens, you usually just win. I mean, with Expedition Map, things are a lot easier these days. Turn 1, one Urza's Land Expedition map. Turn 2, another Urza's Land. Search my library for the 3rd piece. Turn 3, Karn, Wormcoil. Some card that beats you.
See the player shuffling. All the matches in the feature match area still in play.
Yeah, we've had some battles.
Tom Martell versus, I think that's Ryan Delbert.
I believe that's Shane. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Shane
Shane
McDermott.
That's
Yeah,
the lone player,
the
sorry.
gifts player.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, Shane looks to not be in the best position right now. Tom looks to be pretty strong. The old hand on the face weakness and leaning back in the chair strength. There's some players who give away nothing. It's really hard to play against a lot of people. But that's also kind of a dead art in Magic too, the reading people.
Yeah.
Not really dead art, but it's less talked about than it used to
Sure.
be, I feel like.
That was something I remember you talked about that in your, in your top 4 match in San Diego at the Pro Tour, where there was a window where you guys could sort of make an attack and hopefully just win. But if your opponent had something, you couldn't make that play, and you're like, and you felt from the body language and the positioning that the player didn't have it, and you were able to just go for it.
Yeah, well, he was like holding his hand up and stuff, and we'd played against him in the Swiss 3 times, and there was like a direct correlation between how he was sitting and holding everything when they had something, and how he wasn't there. Because in the Swiss, when we were playing against them, we had like 30-minute games against them, like 40-minute games. Like we played real matches against them. You just sit there and look at these people for that long, Especially when my teammates making most of the decisions, I have to do something. I have to like gain some type of knowledge in that situation. So here we are going to game 3. Joshua Layton going to be on the draw here against David Glacier, who is playing green-red Tron, a deck that became popular toward the end of last Modern season, but it seems to have fallen off a bit coming into this latest round of Modern. However, this deck is still very strong.
Oh, we saw game 1.
And it looks like David has a keeper. So, leads things off with a Chromatic Star. Joshua Layton. Was that a Rakdos Charm again? So the modes on Rakdos Charm are remove all cards from graveyards. Each creature deals 1 damage. It's controller, and what's the last mode?
Destroy an artifact?
Destroy an artifact, okay. That would be the relevant mode for this matchup. All right, so David Glacier, does he have another piece of Tron in his hand? Looks like he does. He's gonna go ahead and sacrifice this for a green. Draw a card.
Cast Ancient Stirrings.
Yep.
So you get to look at the top 5 cards of your library and put a colorless card from that into your hand.
And that tower completes Tron for him. He has the mine in hand. So power plant in play, mine in hand, tower in hand. Tower gets to be put into play. Gets to play Chromatic Sphere off the tower. Interesting choice to choose
His
to play.
opponent,
the
he already knows he has the card. No, he hasn't looked at his hand.
Just tells him.
Just shows him. Says, yeah, I got it.
This is happening.
No second land for. So it's going to be like what?
It's a turn 3 Karn, which is not rare at all for this deck. I was talking to Jerry Thompson online after playing against this deck last Modern season, and I played against this deck in 3 2-man queues in a row and played 6 games where they turned 3 card me in a row and lost. And I was complaining, and Jerry's like, "You realize that deck does that like over 40% of the time?"
You can't play
I
with
was like, "Oh, no, I didn't realize that." Now I feel silly.
I'm waiting for you to move before I.
So he can just Pyroclasm here, it looks like. Also, get rid of the Dark Confidant, get rid of the Deathrite Shaman all in one fell swoop.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a bad option.
And draw a card, you know.
And then leave Josh just on
Which
one
is
land.
the safer play?
Pyroclasm is the safer play.
Two steps forward, one step back. It's like a true glacier.
And Pyroclasm.
He is going to Pyroclasm.
That's pretty good. Just going to pass the turnover. Josh is another Deathrite Shaman. And here comes Karn. Does he have options? Does he have like Karn and Wormcoil or something? Yeah, he's gonna remove the land from the game.
Yeah.
And then Josh has no mana. Josh can attack the Karn for 1. That's his only option. He can plus this card. Make Josh exile a card from his hand. Josh exiles a Bloodbraid Elf. David decides to crack that, draw a card.
He's playing Tron Eggs.
Yeah. Cracks this. Draws a card. And Wormcoil Engine. Yeah,
All so here's
this
your
game
mission,
is,
Josh Utter-Layton. You have a Deathrite Shaman, no land. You're facing down Karn Liberated and Wormcoil Engine. Go.
good luck.
He doesn't concede, though.
He doesn't concede. That's he must believe that there is some iteration of cards that he. I do not believe that there is some iteration of cards that he can draw. I mean, there could be a stampede of rhinos through the convention hall that takes out David Glacier. Maybe David Glacier, a crash of rhinos. And I don't know. I don't think David Glacier has more than 8 toughness. Well, you never know.
Well, it's actually, really, I believe, a crash of Wormcoil engines, because now he's got the Eye of Ugin online.
And now he gets to just start churning out Wormcoils at will. Yeah, and Josh can fall to 11. David jumping up to 26 here.
So, like, you get like the perfect victory.
Oh, and
Like
it's
no
another
no
Wormcoil engine.
permanents. Yeah, no permanents.
Yeah.
Like if you get no cards in hand, no permanents, you're at 40, they're at 0. I think that's like the ultimate perfect.
Yeah. That's where that game was going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the one thing that's really fun about the Tron decks, especially when you watch them. It's like when they win